Pokemon. We're gonna talk about the Pokemon. Yeah. So just this morning, Nintendo teased out this Pokemon augmented reality game called Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Which sounds like something a really ineffective trainer would shout. Pokemon Go!
Take care of it.
Alaka, what's it? Do your thingamajig with the spoons, I guess.
Hey, Char Lizard boy, get out there and shoot your flames.
Charlie Zor, do the jump fire.
Hit that electric rat over there and get it over with.
Yeah,
I want to go home.
They showed off this trailer. Let's show the trailer. We'll talk over it so you don't have to look at our dumb faces for a minute. This is really cool. I don't know if you guys remember, there was an April Fool's Day a little while ago that was like Pokemon on Google Maps, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like you find them and it shows them off. This is apparently not an April Fool's Day. This is a legit real thing. It is Nintendo and this company called Niantic, which I'm not familiar with, but they're developing this for mobile devices, and it uses also like weird product placement. There's Adidas and Vans off the wall, just right in there, which is kind of odd.
Yep.
But basically,
I love that little app icon, by the way.
Yeah, no, seeing a Pokeball on my home screen sounds pretty cool. They also have this little dongle, which is like the Pro Watch, the Pokemon Go bracelet thing.
Yep. So this will actually signify when you're near another Pokemon in real life. And I think this is really smart because this is sort of an evolution of Street Pass, which Nintendo's been doing on 3DS for a long time. And now they're bringing it to iPhones, which we've been asking for a while, is sort of like, you have this thing that connects people all over the world. I mean, you go to any trade show or wait outside of any video game store and people are playing 3DS and they're connecting with Street Pass. You can now do that with your phones, basically, through this app and collect Pokemon. I think it's a brilliant idea.
This looks too good to be true.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this is not what the game looks like. This is kind of proof of concept. Use your imagination. But I'm really kind of on board with a modernized Pokemon that makes use of this kind of mobile infrastructure I have in place.
I like how you had to explain that this is not true. There isn't really a Snorlax sleeping on that bridge in France.
I mean, it's all augmented reality, so like conceivably, if they really went over the top and they had some kind of crazy locative AR thing installed there, you could see something.
Look at that nightmare world those people are living in right now.
Yeah.
Also, I used to get really mad when I was a kid and I would see like teens doing this kind of stuff. I'd be like, no, you're not into this. Like, there's two ages for this game. It's a kid and it's us now.
Yeah.
Those people in the middle are probably smoking cigarettes behind the quad or whatever.
I like that adults with phones are gonna be just schooling little kids.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. It's really cool. This is like, I mean, so we learned last year that Nintendo was going to jump into mobile games, and I think a lot of us got really worried that it would be sort of like Flappy Bird-esque kind of minimum.
This looks like Cloverfield.
This does look terrifying. But we were worried they'd be like sort of really kind of beat down versions of their games. I thought it would sort of be taking WarioWare mini games and spinning them out into iPhone games. This is not that. This looks like a full-fledged new service, a new product. Great idea, super awesome. If I was a kid, I'd be pumped for this right now. As an adult with an actual set covered in toys, I just have to be a little more reserved about my excitement. I'm not even a big Pokemon guy, but this is the kind of thing that would make me start collecting them.
Yeah.
Right?
So you know what's really insane about this is that this is way more marketing than Nintendo usually does.
Yeah.
Like normally we see this kind of like this very cute sort of twee like PowerPoint presentation. Like they had Muppets come out at E3 and they were like, oh, we're gonna show you how you and two of your friends can play Zelda together. And it's all very like, it's always a lot of pastels. It's got kind of like elevator music playing and it's very cute. This is like kind of in your face. It looks like a Nike commercial. It's like, go, run, do your thing. And like,
it reminds me a lot of the Sega commercials in the 90s, or actually, like they did a lot of stuff like this for the GameCube, where they were sort of like,
oh my God, I hope that's coming back.
They were like,
play it loud.
Yeah, right? Well, they did this stuff like in the GameCube era where they'd be like, hey, all the Smash Brothers characters in costume have taken over your town. Deal with it. Buy the game on blah, blah, blah. So I really like that sort of like, it's Nintendo kind of with the gloves off, which I think we need to see right now.
I'm really curious to see what they do with this whole NX thing and the fact that they are going to mobile, because like, I mean, I love a lot of Nintendo properties, but I think I would be so much more inclined to play Nintendo games if they were on my phone. Like Pokemon is a game that like you don't need really tight controls for that because it's all menus. Refit it to work on iOS and I'm there. Make it so that I can challenge random people I see around me. Like that's crazy. And then if it has,
you gonna wear this
anything,
watch? Let's take a look at this watch.
Yeah, show this off. This is the little dongle thing. I don't know if I'd go that far. I do like the fact that the Pokeball, it looks like a Google Maps pin.
Yeah, I'm not wild about that band because it looks like you got it at a Fish concert. Like that's very.
That's hot right now.
Yeah, is it?
That's like an old pair of Tevas. You know, that's like what Nike laces look
I
like.
guess
in the
I
90s.
already lived through that time of my life once where people were wearing stuff like that. But maybe it'll be like the Apple Watch where you can buy a $10,000 gold band for it. You know, that'd be nice.
You know what the future of nostalgia really is? It's kind of like a New Game Plus of childhood.
Yeah.
Like you've kind of beaten it once, and you're like, all right, I know how to do this, and you're like, well, I'm going to spend $300 on a Boba Fett doll.
Yep.
What now?
Well, that's the like. It's the second childhood you have as an adult now, right? Which is why it's like it's kind of cool that we get to do what we do, but it's also cool that it's become more and more socially acceptable. Like we have toys all over our desks, and if you had taken a screenshot of this like 10 years ago and you sent it to people, people would be like, nerds. And now it's like, nah, the nerds won.
Yeah.
Like, what's your deal? You know, like this is our sports bar.
You look at the highest grossing movies of the last 10 years, how many of those are superhero movies? How many of those are science fiction movies? Like, that's kind of just...
Or, you know, like things based on, like, you look at, like, Wreck-It Ralph, which is, like, a big video game movie that's kind of, like, Trojan horsed its way in. This is a good time to be alive, and I like the fact that we, you know, we have a little bit of expendable income, and you and I don't have kids that we know about, and we can go buy toys and collect Pokemons with suits on. 'Cause that's the business. That's the future. Mother, friender.